If you haven't been here before, welcome to the channel. My name's Nick and today I'm going to show you how we went about setting up a second Amazon seller account. There's loads of information out there about setting up second Amazon accounts. Some people give you inside dirty tricks and different techniques you can use, but today I'm going to run you through an actual case study of us, how we went about getting approved, and hopefully by me showing you that, it can help you if you're thinking about setting up a second Amazon account or you just want to understand how people do it. If you're interested in learning more about Amazon, we've set up this channel to document what we're doing and what we're learning along our journey. We've been full-time Amazon sellers for over 2 years now, and it's a brilliant business to be in, and we are learning more and more as we go every day. So if you want to be a part of that journey, subscribe to the channel. If you've ever got any questions, just leave a comment below. So when you're opening a second Amazon account, there are a few things that you need to think about really before you go ahead and ask for approval. Do you actually need a second seller account? Have you got a genuine reason? If your reason is you just want another seller account because you're worried about losing your first, well, that's not a good enough reason in Amazon's eyes. You need to demonstrate a genuine business requirement. So this video, I'm just sharing our experience of opening a second seller account. Before you go ahead and try and seek approval, you need to do your own research. You need to come to your own conclusions on this. This isn't advice. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just sharing our story with you guys. So always take the time to read Amazon's TOS. I know it's boring, but just take the time to do it. If you want to build a serious business, you need to read their terms of service. And yeah, don't take this as solid advice. You need to come to your own conclusions. We're just sharing what worked for us and how we went through and got that second seller account. So why did we want to actually open a second seller account? Number one, it was diversification. So according to research and bits and pieces I saw online, if you've got an Amazon account and you get approval to open a second account, Amazon will consider that a completely separate business. Now, I can't say that for definite, but that's what most people are saying online. So we wanted to launch a completely new line of products to increase our revenue, to reduce our risk in case we had any issues with the first account. So we decided we want a second seller account. So they were our main reasons really for wanting one. We've now had one for well over a year, and yeah, it's turned out to be a very good business decision. What do Amazon actually say about having more than one seller account? Well, according to their terms of service, it's a prohibited activity. So you can read it here: operating and maintaining multiple seller accounts is prohibited. If you have a legitimate business need for a second account, you can apply for an exception to this policy, which is exactly what we did. And we got approval and we haven't got any issues. So I'm not showing you guys how to, trick Amazon into giving you a second seller account. This is genuinely how we did it. And we're always working within Amazon's terms of service because you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you at the end of the day. So how did we do it? Basically, to get started, we ensured that our current seller account was in good standing. So we sell across Europe, so we wanted to make sure it was in good standing across all locales. So the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain. We made sure that there was no outstanding issues, any cases that needed dealing with, anything that Amazon might look at and think, should this seller be given another account? So luckily for us, we've always had a sort of top level seller performance, and yeah, we've never had any real problems with our accounts because we don't rush into things. We try to slowly work things out. This is a marathon for us, not a sprint. So next up, we registered a new limited company. Now, I am going to do a video shortly about the pros and cons of setting up a limited company. That's the way we've always done it. So yeah, that's what we did. We set up a brand new limited company, completely different business name, and then we set up a separate company bank account in obviously the name of the new company. That obviously took a little bit of time because you need to usually go into the bank and set all of that up and wait for formal documentation to say that the business is registered, because Amazon are going to require that. Once we had those two things set up, we emailed Seller Performance to request approval for the second account. We set out an email. Now, if ever you're emailing Amazon, just keep it very straightforward and to the point. They're not there to read your life story. They don't care about your emotions. They just want facts. So keep it short and sweet, stick to the points. We confirmed that the company would have completely separate financials and reporting. The company was a completely separate company to our first. It would have a completely different bank account, just to show them, look, these are completely separate companies and we need a second seller account because they're not related. We also confirmed that there'd be no cross-listing of inventory. So Amazon don't want people opening multiple seller accounts, selling the same products or trying to dominate a particular niche because, I mean, it's anti-competition. No one wants that, and it's a tactic. It's not a legitimate reason. So Seller Performance responded and said, as long as basically we would say that we wouldn't share financial information between the two companies, such as ACH and CC, if we could agree to that, they'd verify our request internally. So good news. They hadn't rejected us straight out. They'd said, please confirm that you're happy to abide by these 2 points. ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse. So this is basically just a network that coordinates your payments and transfers and things like that. So this wasn't a problem for us. Got completely different. We're using a completely different bank and a different bank account. And CC just stands for cash credit. So that's a short-term financing option. It's credit from a bank. Again, not an issue. We don't finance or anything like that. But if you were thinking of, using cash credit from a bank and having that run into both accounts, Amazon don't want that. So we had to confirm we were happy with that, which of course we did. 3 weeks later, they came back and said, yes, we've approved your second account, which we were all very pleased about because Amazon accounts are worth their weight in gold if you run them properly. And yeah, we were ecstatic to get that second account up and running. So then we went in, logged into the new seller account and added in our new bank details. This is why it's really important that before you go and get and seek approval, you have everything set up and you have all the information in hand, because if you try and rush it and you haven't got the information there, Amazon could even end up suspending your accounts because you haven't given the information and you're trying to set up a new account before you've got approval. So before doing anything else, once we put in the new bank details, we went back to Seller Performance, and this is really important, and we said we have updated the bank accounts. So we were actually told by our account manager at the time not to go ahead and do anything else. Just put in the bank details and let them know that you've done that. And then literally we all stood about 5 meters away from our laptops and just wouldn't touch anything on either account because we wanted to make sure Amazon had updated their system. So we let them know, and they came back to us quite quickly to say that they've made a note on our account. They've turned off the loop their end, and this would basically ensure that their system's updated to say that our location, our IP address are authorized to run these 2 separate seller accounts. So if you've heard the horror stories about people going ahead and opening a second seller account or trying to open loads of accounts, Amazon are very, very clever, and they've got teams working around the clock to shut people, the bad actors down that are trying to do it without approval. So that's why if they see 2 seller accounts at the same IP address on numerous occasions, I'm not sure how their internal rules work, but they'll shut you down because you haven't got approval. So we confirmed it to them. They updated the system and said, yep, you can now use both seller accounts with full approval. Away you go. So yeah, once you've got the approval, you can use the account. If you don't wait for that approval, that they've actually looped things off their end, you risk both accounts being suspended until you can show them everything that they want, because it will just flag automatically in Amazon's system. They've got ways of tracking that. So important points to consider. Don't try and play the system. Obviously do what you want, but if you do, you run the risk of having a very short-term business, and yeah, we're just not into that. So always seek approval before trying to open another Amazon account. If not, you can almost guarantee you'll get caught at some point. It looks like Amazon don't want the 2 seller accounts to be selling the same products, and that makes complete sense because, as I mentioned earlier, anti-competition, it's just not right. It's a tactic. So also, what I've read, they don't actually like the 2 accounts to be selling in the same category. Now, I don't know how sort of true that is. A lot of people were saying that was the case online, but from sort of our experience, if you've got completely separate products, they're not related at all, you will sometimes maybe have category crossover. Don't take my word for it on that, but that's what some people are saying online. You must demonstrate a clear business need for having 2 accounts. So if you've got an Amazon account and you're just sort of thinking, well, yeah, we'd like a second account because we like our first account, that's fine, but you need to have a bit of forethought and think through a genuine business reason why you actually need one, because otherwise you're not going to get it. So yeah, before you apply, make sure you actually need one. Diversifying your business in Amazon's eyes is not a reason. So yeah, I hope you guys have found that useful. That's really how it worked for us. If you have found this useful, please hit the like button. We appreciate all your support. And if you're interested in selling on Amazon, subscribe to the channel. I have got a question for you. We're thinking about setting up a Facebook group to help our already very hungry community of entrepreneurs. It will mainly be Amazon related, but we just want to build a Facebook group, or we're thinking about it, where anyone can ask a question and get help. So if you think this is a good idea, comment yes, start a group below, and yeah, just so I know whether you guys would actually want it. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Remember to like and subscribe. There will be more useful videos from us here at eBusiness Boss very soon. Thanks for watching.